Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This moment has kind of snuck up on me. In like 2 days, I am going to be playing The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to one of my favorite games of all time in Breath of the Wild. And Nintendo has been so secretive about this that the buildup for me has it snuck up on me. It really did. And now that I'm here, I kind of just want to make a little time capsule here on my feelings going into the game. So first of all, what am I expecting from this game? Well, let's go back a bit. After Breath of the Wild, I would have been okay with like a Majora's Mask-esque sequel, right? Like take the same world, take the same assets. Although I've never actually played Majora's Mask, I'm saying this based on what I know about it. Majora's Mask might not have used the same map. It might have. I'm actually not sure. Sorry, but basically, I would have been okay with a sequel that used the same world, used a lot of the same assets, but just had a new story, had a new campaign or whatever, had added a bunch of stuff to it. But it's taken them 6 years to make this game. If I remember correctly, I think Majora's Mask only came out like 2 or 3 years after Ocarina of Time. But you know, it did a lot of interesting things, and people appreciated it for that. And that would have been fine for Breath of the Wild. But they've taken 6 years, so I can't help but take that information and assume, or I should say, and not assume, that there has to be something to this game. There has to be something about it that is going to make me go, oh my god, this is amazing. This is a completely valid experience like Breath of the Wild. But I don't really know what that is, because you have the fuse mechanic, right, that they introduced. You have the swim through the ceiling mechanic. I forget what that's called. Ascend. I don't know. You have that, and I can understand how those two things, to be fair, would take them like 6 years to develop, just because of all of the intricacies of, you know, combining every item and all the possibilities that come from that. The fact that you can now ascend through ceilings and all of that, that completely alters the game. So I can understand how building a game around those mechanics would take 6 years, but is that really enough to make me play this game and be like, wow, you made me feel the way Breath of the Wild felt? Because here's the thing. The main thing that made Breath of the Wild one of my favorite games of all time is its exploration. And, you know, I've never played a game aside from Breath of the Wild where I genuinely paid attention and appreciated the world, like just the open world, right? Whenever, like I play like an Assassin's Creed game or whatever, Horizon Zero Dawn, I never really care all that much about the world, right? I'm never like really looking, let me look out into the world and, oh, that looks interesting, let me go to that. Breath of the Wild is the first open world game that I've played. I'm sure there have been others, but it's just the first one that I've played that, like, it forced you to, like, actually look at the world and be like, oh shit, that's really interesting, let me go to that. And you might say that that's not that big of a difference of just giving you a waypoint, but in practice, when you're actually doing it, it is so much more satisfying. And even just the world itself is the world itself is a puzzle to solve, right? Like when you have to get over a mountain, you have that stamina gauge, and you have to actually like look at it and plan out how you're going to get around it. And they're just so the world itself is what made that game amazing. Going into Tears of the Kingdom, if it's really using the same world, it's like, sure, you have the Sky Islands, but are those going to be enough? I don't know. And so it's like, they've taken 6 years to develop this game, like I said. I'm like, is there something like insane about this game, right? Like, is there gonna be some wacky thing of like, oh, maybe like the caves underground are like explorable? Maybe Have they like expanded the map at all? Like, are there new areas? Maybe. Um, is there gonna be some insane like I don't know, like Ocarina of Time situation where like you like travel back in time and the world is completely different? Maybe. Is that asking for too much? Is it bad for me to expect this? Because if I expect these things and then I don't end up not getting that, then I'm gonna feel disappointed. But they've taken 6 years. It's like, should I expect something like that? This is where I'm at right now. I'm a little conflicted. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, if it is just, hey, it's the same world, but there are new experiences to be had. It's changed decently enough. It is the same world. It's not going to have nearly the same effect that Breath of the Wild had on you, but it's still a really cool game with some fun new mechanics. If that's what we get, don't get me wrong, I will be satisfied. I will. But I just don't know that would be enough for me to play this game and feel the same way that I felt about Breath of the Wild. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on the expectations. What are some things that I actually want? And I should say, even though I will be satisfied with that, the fact that they've taken 6 years, I am thinking that there is something to this game that we just don't know about, and that is going to blow us away. I don't know exactly what that is, but I think there's something. Okay, now what are my desires that I don't think we're actually going to get? I really only have one that I can think of. Story. Now listen, I get it. And granted, I haven't played that many Zelda games because I've played like Zelda 1, Zelda 2, Link to the Past, Ocarina of Time. That's about it. And Breath of the Wild. So maybe this isn't the norm across other Zelda games, but from the ones that I've played, story is not that big of. It's not important really. Or at the very least, there's not like a super compelling narrative. I kind of want that, you know. And I'm not saying I need it to be The Last of Us Part 2, right? I don't need like I don't need the story of this game to be that Link Ganondorf beats Link's head in with a golf club, and then Zelda has to go on a path of revenge, and then by the end of the game she realizes that revenge is bad. I'm not saying I need that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'd like more story. I'd like a more compelling story. I wouldn't mind Link actually being a character, you know? I'm not saying the entire game needs to be cutscenes, but give me some more cutscenes. Give me some stuff to chew on. Give me some relationships to really feel attached to. Like, I just want a little bit more, because the thing about Zelda is that the world is genuinely cool. The world is genuinely fascinating. I've been watching a bunch of like lore videos, and I'm like, this is cool. There's a lot of potential here, and I'd like to see that potential realized. And it's one of those things where when I watch the trailer, there are it's all a bunch of cutscenes and whatnot, and look, the story and blah blah blah. But the trailer for the first Breath of the Wild was kind of the same way. And then when you actually played the game, it's like, oh, those were literally all the cutscenes that were in the game. It's like, it's not really that. So I'm not expecting the story to play an especially big role in this game. I'm not expecting that at all. But I kind of want it. I don't know. I kind of want it. But yeah, man. I mean, and then I guess just to add a few more thoughts. I think that the fuse mechanic looks incredibly fun. I'm not usually the kind of gamer I'm not really creative in that way usually, where I'm like building stuff and crafting stuff. Like, I'm not that much of like a survival game fan. I've never been able. I mean, I've played Minecraft before. I actually enjoy Minecraft a lot. It's like the one survival game that I play, but I've never understood redstone, you know. So this kind of thing is normally not what I'm into. But it seems simple enough that I think even my dumb baby brain will be able to have fun with it. Like, I think I'll be able to cobble together a stupid looking mech like we saw in the trailer to fight the boulder guys. I think I can manage that. You know, I think I can manage to cobble together a boat to get across a river. I think I can cobble together like a flying machine and have fun with that. I think. And I do think that that's going to be really cool. I like how that makes the weapon degradation not feel as bad. Even though, honestly, to be honest, like I'm not gonna lie, I don't understand the weapon degradation complaint, because I felt like in Breath of the Wild you were constantly getting enough weapons to not have it be that big of a deal. Kind of diluted the Master Sword a bit, sure, but in general, I never once playing that game was I like, oh, where am I gonna find a weapon? I never felt that. Also, super fascinated. What the hell is going on with his hand? What's going on with that? Oh, actually, sorry. And then actually, going back to the story. What I've been watching some theory videos. I'm like, are they actually going to like give some definitive answers on like the timeline and what the hell is going on? Like, people think that Demise is in the trailer. Is that actually Demise? Are we somehow gonna loop all the way back to Skyward Sword, and then are we actually going to like maybe establish some sort of proper story narrative for Zelda that doesn't feel like they had to cobble it together after they realized that fans wanted it, and then they had this stupid thing where there are three divulging timelines. Like, are we actually going to bring it all together in some kind of way and establish some new baseline, some proper baseline for Zelda? I don't know. I have no idea. But I will look forward to playing the game, maybe not really understanding it all, but then for sure watching a video essay that explains it all. But man, I don't know. And just some other neat mechanics that I've seen. I mean, I think in one of the trailers, Link has a squirrel suit that looks dope. I think that one of the things that I'm especially intrigued about is you see in the trailer where Link is fighting alongside people. That seems really cool. Like, not just champions, but there's this one scene in the trailer where like Link is galloping on a horse and he's like fighting guys, and then there are just like regular NPCs fighting guys too. If there are like actual battle, like war scenarios, that would be really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I could go on rambling, but all I'll say is that I am very excited for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I will be happy with maybe not a mind-blowing, life-changing experience like Breath of the Wild was, but I want that, and I kind of think we're going to get it. I don't really know how we're going to get it, but I think that there's something about this game. I think there's a reason why it's been so secretive that I think I'm going to get my mind blown, but maybe not. Also, yes, I know that the game's leaked. I've been avoiding all the spoilers, so please don't post spoilers in the comments down below. Honestly, I might not even read the comments. Not that I get that many comments on my videos anyways. Also, there is like a Treehouse live stream. I've been debating on whether or not I want to watch it, just because it's literally tomorrow, like the day before the game is out. Yeah, I'll probably live stream it myself because I want content, and I want viewers and money and fame and power and women, and I don't know. Bye.